Alright, hello everyone. Thought I'd do a quick match review of myself versus Staticz. So that is Juri Menat. Um, Zona matchup. I'm sure a lot of people have trouble with Menat. And I wanted to provide reasoning and possibly strategies to help those people out. And why perhaps Juri wins the matchup. Um, why she might even be a good pick to versus Menat. We'll find out. I do believe this set was relatively close. Both players have had a lot of experience. But yeah, let's run through it. So this matchup is another like Zona versus Zona. So there's a lot of uh, bait and switch, cat and mouse type gameplay. Both players trying to force their will, if you, for back, lack of a better word, yeah, force their will upon the other opponent, whether they want to slow down the pace, whether they want to pick up the pace, whatnot, because both characters have the tools to do that. As I described during the Dowsum matchup, there is preparation required for both players to have their ideal situation, whereas Juri, she needs to charge, Menat, perhaps she wants to get an orb out, or land a normal while having the orb out. So I just wrist chair there. Have her orb out while landing a normal for pressure, or perhaps just charging up her V trigger through crush counters or use of a V skill. Um, Manat's general goal is to try and whittle you down to say half HP before she has to activate V trigger, and then once she activates V trigger, um, kind of steal the round or mix you up just enough to kind of win it out. Um, so normally, if you can get Menat to activate while being above, say, like 80% HP, even if you eat all the mix-ups in the world, you could probably generally be in a very good spot. It's kind of taking too much damage before that happens is the bad part. On Jury's end, um, I find that as a Jury player, I want to activate as much as possible, just generally because the ways I can activate are very tricky for Menat to deal with outside of being prepared for them. As an example, full screen flip kick is not easy for Menat to deal with, just because she's going to get hit, exposing herself by those large buttons. Um, so just my chairs keep sinking. So, yeah, but her large buttons are going to open up to things like heavy flip kick, and V skill cancels and just general V skill use. And that V trigger is just going to keep the pressure on, keep the pressure on, keep the pressure on. And as you'll see, Juri's V skill is a very useful tool in the matchup. So she's going to acquire a lot, as well as Menat isn't quite the character who's going to lay down loads of damage. She's going to steadily poke, which means that most characters are going to get their V trigger very early on in the matchup, and 2-bar V triggers, if you can spend it quickly, are probably going to get 2. Um, so let's check it out. Things to look for when versing Menat when she likes to throw her orb out. As a Jury player, and probably most of the characters when she throws a stand heavy punch out, because of those those two strategies or those two tools are the most risky, but obviously they provide Menat with the most reward. Crush counters, pressure, yada yada. Alright, so right off the bat, um, Juri taking a fireball charge, Menat setting up her orb, and immediately recalling it. I guess just to provide pressure, just constant movement. But it shows that both players are willing to kind of assert their immediate game plan on both players. Um, as Juri player versus Menat, I need to immediately notice that the orbs come out. The first thing she's done is the orbs come out. What that means is that a jump on opening, um, maybe a backdash, to charge up. Basically, Menat's throwing her utility in neutral completely at the window to gain an immediate advantage, which means she's exposing herself to immediate offense, or because it was a mid-orb throw, losing a certain amount of space, which means that Juri can back up outside of the orb area, and kind of charge up safely because Menat can no longer poke at long range. So I've taken V skill immediately here. What that means is that as soon as Menat throws a medium orb, the middle one, or low orb, or does a whiff stand heavy punch, Jory now has access to a whiff punish. Hopefully we'll have examples of that. kind of testing, looking for that stand heavy punch or those orb throws. What I tried to do here was something that I really need to practice and work on. Throw the fireball and then use the V skill to force Menat to block, and then the fireball hits after the V skill to make the V skill like positive or close enough to close negative so that Menat has trouble contesting or even just like leaves me in, but I failed him miserably. Alright, so right there you see the orb goes out. Immediately I try to pressure to stop Menat from calling it in for free, because obviously when you are between Menat and the orb, that's not a great place to be, but if you can touch Menat before she recalls it, then obviously she's in even worse of a spot. Not enough time. It's very difficult to catch Menat by jumping. Jumping's definitely the greedy option. Reset. Low orb, being stuck in between the orb. Whenever you get stuck between an orb and the orb is very close to your ass, and Menat is just that's a normal reach, let her have it. Back up out of the orb. Try and get yourself in a position where you're not going to get hit by anything she does. Alright, charging my V skill again. Very useful tool. It's going to block it out, because eventually Menat's just going to push me out. That's fine. Alright, whiff punish. Woohoo! Hopefully this is... Yeah, alright, sick. So... blocking myself out. Alright, this is the range. This is the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful range. Menat throws the medium orb, V skill. Menat throws the light orb, V skill. Menat throws the heavy punch, V skill. The heavy orb, the one that travels the full screen, has less recovery than the others. Very difficult to whiff punish with V skill. However, even if she does throw it, because it takes so long to travel across the screen, you can dash after her, make her life hell. Whiff punish. Woo! You gotta do that. It requires very tight spacing and it's a very quick reaction, but you gotta learn how to do it because it changes Menat's autopilot and it stops her from controlling the neutral with that CC. Charge it up again. Oh, I'm pretty sure we don't have the inputs because this was the direct recording. I'm pretty sure here I either tried to jump forward after I saw the orb go up, because my immediate reaction was I saw the orb go up, time to go in because that orb takes so long to travel. I jumped into it. Oh no, not good. Alright, try to wake up buttons. Sometimes you get this to your opponent. Alright, crush count. What are you gonna do? So at this point here, no matter what it is, whether it's a fake setup, fake pressure, all you want to do is, because Menat doesn't have V-trigger, which means she doesn't convert off anything she does effectively, and she has no orb, which means that even if she hits you, she's probably not going to get much off it at all, because the orbs go so long to come back as well. At this point in time, it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's a trade, whether she lands a light, whether I do a jab or forward do another jab. Doesn't even need to combo as long as I keep her from getting that orb back. Just gonna pressure. You see there, I just did a block string into any charge I had at the time because I just wanted to activate. I just wanted to keep the pressure on. Landed a hit, but juggle doesn't really particularly matter. I don't think I noticed it was a juggle. I'm not sure what that was. That's bad. Right there I tried to hit the medium kick to punish the V-reversal because I didn't have throw in time, but got overhead. Mistakes happen. Throws himself into the corner. Not good. Anti-air crouch medium kick. Woof. Out of the corner. That's a good V-reversal. Menat can always V-reversal there. This is the worst position to ever be in, by the way. Right here. No HP to fuck with. Menat's got a orb. You pretty well just have to gamble, so it doesn't matter what happens here. He's gambling. I didn't block the overhead, but it's tough place to be in. Right, trying to find that optimal. Okay, so here. So immediately I take another charge in case she did the medium orb again. I was trying to cancel it out because it is considered a fireball. If you throw a fireball as Menat throws her orb, it'll pop it. I tried to do a slightly delayed charge, trying to catch the medium orb out to see if I could pop it. She doesn't throw it again because doesn't want to take the risk again. That's right. But what I do is I back up to here, which is just a little bit outside just a little bit outside that stand heavy punch range, but just enough to kind of wiggle around it. Because I know she's threatened by me with punishing the stand heavy punch. She's threatened by me charging the V skill. And immediately I'm just like, okay, she's going to try and stop me. She's going to try and approach on me, whether it's medium punch, stand heavy punch, dash, whatever. So I just jump. Let's decide. All of focus is on neutral because I've made her scared of that stand heavy punch by whiff punishing it already. So I'm just going to go well. Get us through. Sometimes you take the damage you can get. Looking for the backdash with the sweep. Don't get it. Alright, back up, take the V-skill, and we go back to this range. Alright, throw the fireball. It's an acceptable trade. Hail Mary, don't recommend it. It was more of like a reaction to her moving forward, backwards and forward, backwards and forward. It's probably not a solid lead. Trade. Get the V-skill again, so important. Charge a fireball. So I wish punished the dive kick there with the V-skill. But I do want to mention that having the fireball is just as important as having the V-skill, because if Menat decides that she no longer wants to take the risks in neutral because I have the V-skill, just because she's so afraid of it, the fireball guarantees she has to do something. Because as soon as you stand just outside that stand heavy punch range where she can't touch you, you throw the fireball, she has game on, like she has to do something. Because if you just hold up forward, you throw the fireball, there's very little she can do apart from take trades and whatnot. We finish the dive kick, sick. Just kind of chasing it down. That's it right here actually. Let's go back a little bit. This fireball right here. So I know that game on, she doesn't want to do anything. Well, sorry, she has to do something. She doesn't want to do anything right here, but she has to do something. So I just jump because I just want an immediate aggressive option to show her that I mean business when that fireball's out. We get a trade because longer air normals. Tries to catch the V skill or just put the air pressure back on. Random V flip into V trigger. Like I said, I'm just trying to put the pressure on in a situation where I know that she's either going to throw the orb or she's just outside stand heavy punch range. Just trying to get in. That's why I believe the V trigger is so important. It's just because it kind of just gives you free hits. Can't hit confirmed. Big boy damage. Bam. Optimal. Sick combo. Love the combo. Can't always get it, but sick. Alright, so this time I back up because I thought he was going to test me immediately charging. Which he does. He walks forward for a stand heavy punch. I believe it's stand heavy punch. I backdash charge. I think he gets me here. No, just off. I knew. So like I said, I've charged twice in a row. He hasn't done anything resembling a pattern. And because this is only game one, what he's going to do is most likely test my charge. And because I know I've charged twice, what I'm going to do is back up in case he tries to test it with immediate stand heavy punch, dash forward or whatever. I'm going to dash back and then charge. A little safer just to guarantee it. At this point in time, I've charged and I've seen him just walk forward. Two things are going to happen. One, she's going to throw the orb out, or two, she's going to stand heavy punch. I'm just going to jump forward to try and avoid both those situations and try and pressure. And of course I get it. That's a combo. Oh, the Australian combo. You can confirm that. If you land the stand heavy punch, you should be confirming that. Take your time. Breathe, 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 breathe. Because when the stand heavy kick comes out, you've got enough time to mess with it, to walk forward, stand medium punch. You're like plus 9, 10 there, and you're looking for a 5 frame button. Because everyone there, you want to target combo, grab another charge, you know, yada yada. Right, grabbing that V skill, important. I've already got fireball. I'm going to take a charge just because I know I've got it. Then back up, take another V skill. It's just all about the V skill and the fireball here. That range. Oh, got a little lucky there. Testing it, testing it, testing it. Wasn't ready for the jump. I'm so focused on that stand heavy punch, I'm just not ready for the jump. It's pressure, pressure. Alright, see that I got that knockdown. I'm just good with punish. Alright, I just wanted to activate. Missed the timing by a little bit. You can medium kick on the way out and cancel in the heavy kick and whatnot. Alright, okay, so that's important. So I've made this Menat player very, 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 very scared of the fireball. So as soon as I throw the fireball, here it is. This is too far, by the way. Throwing this fireball this far away, you should probably just walk it in, because that's way too far to achieve anything. This Menat player doesn't have to block for ages. In reality, she can walk backwards outside of the fireball's range, because the fireball will dissipate after a while, and just poke over the top of it. You want to throw this fireball much closer. And I got hell greedy knowing this, thinking that he was going to backdash and just reset the situation. I tried the double dash. He went for a V skill to reflect it, just to get the fireball off the screen. Play device. Trade. Alright, so I got greedy then again there. So, trade. Alright. Throws the orb out. This situation, like I said, when the orb, because the orb's going to go behind me, like this, block it out. Walk your way out. Even if he walks up and like hits a button and like you have to block. You have to block. Eventually, the orb's going to come back in. He's going to have to throw it out. Blah, blah, blah. But you need to block. Jumping back here is one of the greediest things you could possibly do. I tried to make the hard read that he was going to try and like dash forward, poke me low or something like that to get direct pressure, but bad idea. It's the unsafe idea. It's not a bad idea. It's the unsafe idea. See, look, if I just walk backwards, easy. Fireball's a little bit further. Okay, so I tried to go here. If you can do this through the fireball, I'm walking forward because I know that again he's trying to E my contested again with V-skill. I want to test if he's going to do it. This jump back here. If I V-skill right now, I'm almost guaranteed to get it. Some characters are very difficult because if they push a button on the way down, they smack you out of your V-skill. Most Menat players are going to stand heavy kick here just because to get that range. Chances are I'll anti-air it. But my reactions weren't ready. I didn't expect him to back jump. And my V-skill's way too late. Alright, so this situation, like I said before, this is a terrible situation to be in. Any hit can take it, really, because he does have he almost has V-trigger. And I have super, but this is a bad situation to be in. You're just going to gamble at this point. Bad gamble. Happens. V-trigger activate. Worst possible situation. Sorry, that's it. Should have probably had a little bit better defense there, but you know, what are you going to do? So we've seen a couple of adaptations to how he reacts to the fireball where he's being more proactive rather than blocking it. And he's very scared of me having V-skill. What I wanted to do there was... So I've decided to jump, and I've immediately seen that the orb's there. What can he do here? He can recall it back in order to try and help himself be a little bit safer if he wants to be greedy. You can recall it back in immediately as he sees me standing right in front of him. What I want to do is I want to jump over, now that his anti-airs are kind of shit because he doesn't have his orb. So his anti-airs are weaker. I want to get out of the road of that orb. And so I'm just going to pressure. He's trying to get away from me. He got away. That's alright. Just going to wait it out. So, okay, so here, this is a good position to show. So he's going to throw the orb out. The orb is so far away, but I know that it's high, right? So what I want to do is I don't want him to sit there with that orb just kind of making me do all the work, right? He doesn't want to just sit there and like play eternity until there's 10 seconds left and then fuck with me at max range. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk forward, and he has to bring it back. He can't walk the whole stage and just have the orb forever away and Naya. He has to bring it back at this point. I know that. I try to kind of poke him to stop it, like see if I can catch him getting it back, but doesn't matter. But anyway, I made him bring the orb back, which means that I can back up and get V-skill. Let's go. Good with punish. It's the high one, the heavy one's very difficult to get. I wouldn't recommend trying to get it too often. Alright, back jump there. I should have V-skilled. It's difficult. It's hard to get Menat's jump back stand heavy kick as Juri, because if he doesn't push it, you DP, you just whiff it, and it's goodbye. But I should have been ready for the jump back after I tested it before, ready to V-skill it. After I threw the fireball. That's right. Let's get some charges. I looked for the back jump there, and as soon as I saw him hit the air, I was like, oh, V-skill, but gotta react. Can't just do raw predictions when you got the opportunity to react. Oh, could have been some oddball combo there. Oh, right the way. Just blocking it out. I anticipated another orb coming out there. You can, if you see a high recovery move where he's going to throw the orb behind it, say like slide or overhead, and you know that he can't recall the orb to make it plus, you can just EX flip kick to try and get through that orb that he's going to throw out afterwards to try and make the slide or the overhead kind of even. To kind of catch him off guard. I tried to do that, but didn't fall through. I don't know if that stand heavy kick was. Just kind of pressure. Trying to keep him there. I got V-skill. I decide that now I got the life lead. There's no chance of him getting V-trigger again. Clock's counting down. I'm just going to reassert my game plan. I was ready for it that time, but it's a little too early. Little too ready. Ooh. Laggy. Laggy. That's right. Jump just to testing, see if he wants to throw that orb. So I know he wants to throw it. He wants that orb out. Every Menat does. So get between him and the orb. That's an odd situation to be in. Alright, back it up. Get the V-skill. That's what we want. V-skill fireball. There he goes. So my V-skill attempts has failed to catch him back jumping at that time. So I knew that he was going to back jump again because it's worked for him each time. Why wouldn't he? So I decided to jump and kind of meet him as he touches the ground. Hopefully get a jump in combo, maybe, but otherwise pressure. And who doesn't like a good juicy throw? Testing him again. You got to test him in that players. Can't let them get away with meta. I think that was a mistake. It's the oddest Menat mix up in my life. It happens. Back at that range. Throwing the fireballs. I know he doesn't want to do anything. He's afraid. So I'm constantly testing him. I know that he jumped at me last time I threw the fireball. There it is again. Could have DP'd that very easily. Oh, there it is again. He's getting even more antsy. You can see him getting real impatient now. Pretty well seals the deal here. There's very little he can do. I don't think he can super me from there. I don't know. I don't think he could super me from there. He might have been able to. Alright, block it out. Get my charges. So I see him using the V-skill again on the fireball. Trying to jump at him. That'd catch the V-skill as well if I jump there. Yeah, there it is. Alright, he's chasing me down. Alright, so, okay. So as a Juri player, this is both the scariest and the best moment ever. Is when they start doing this. They just start chasing you like that. Or they just start chasing you. Why is that both scary and the best thing ever? It's scary because now you don't have the space to get what you want, aka I want fireball and V-skill. It is the best thing ever because I made them do this. I made him chase me because he's so afraid of that fireball and that V-skill, which means that he's so hell-bent on getting inside that range to stop me from doing anything. Jump. I could have tag comboed there. I tried to get greedy for the medium kick, medium release, but not off stand like kick. I got greedy there. I tried to get out of the corner. Okay, so you can do this against Menat. Because Menat's punishes here aren't very good. I don't think so anyway, especially not when our orb's not out. Because you're going to swap sides, so chances are our orb's not there to combo. You can do this pretty freely, I think. In general, against Menat players. I don't think they get anything great off that. Nothing to worry about anyway. Off the punish here. But if they do have V-trigger, they get the world. So don't do that when they got V-trigger. Deserve that damage. I think he went for a fat reset. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. You got all the time in the world to block with Menat there. She's so negative off the block. Swap sides. Off the block super. Blocking it out. Getting that V-skill. Which is the most important thing ever. He does the explode too early. Try to catch it again. I'm not doing a very good job at catching the back jump with the V-skill. It's a hard thing to do. I'm pretty sure Menat's jump is a little quicker than most characters as well. Yeah, it's kind of like this. Fireball there, I'm like, oh, he's delay rising. I just walk him into it. Just walk him into it. And then you can't whiff that fireball. It's good shit.
You win.
Eat dirt, loser. I bet you didn't see that coming. Oof.
Round one. Fight.
Took a charge at the beginning. I saw him walk forward. He walked forward. He was trying to stop me from getting charges again. He thought I'd back up. Can't hit confirm. So slack. I took, okay, so, this might look like the dumbest decision ever, but this orb is so far away, it's insane. This orb is so far away, and now I know that I can't stop it from coming back. By the time I ever hit him, he's gonna block and he's gonna get the orb back. Not a problem. I'm gonna take V skill. He had no idea I was that brave. What's he gonna do? He doesn't have his orb yet. Fear reversing here is a good idea eventually. Okay, so I'm pretty sure he can block this. This is probably not the best place to... Yeah, he can definitely block that. It's not a good place to fear reversal. Because he might be able to let go of an orb. Yeah, he might be able to let go of an orb just before he blocks it and hit me. I don't know. But I just tried to catch him off guard with it. I tried to swap sides when he jumped, but no dice. I could have reversaled there, but EXDP's good enough. Yeah, greedy jump. I wanted to get behind him, but he was walking back still. Let him blow it up. Move in. The high one's hard to get, man. You gotta be really close. You gotta get a reaction. Just want to activate. Just want to get up in his face. I'm afraid of that wake up super. No one wants to lose to it. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. Not a good way to end that round. Oof. So, there is tech behind if you block a stand heavy punch, dashing up. It depends on where you block it. If you block it really close, Menat is so negative, it's not even funny. I try to be hella greedy there. Look at that. I'm like, I say I'm like negative like 5. I still hit a button. Crazy, man. Don't do that. I'm just trying to mix it up. I'm trying to make him afraid. Oh, the orb's so far away. Let's back it up. B skill. Hell yeah. Right on. It's an air light kick. Oh, that's so unfortunate. I knew he was gonna do that. I think I could have supered off the fireball there. I failed input. That's supposed to be DP super. Happens the best of us. It's my bad side. That was a bad view. Oh, don't do this. No one's allowed to do this anymore. No one's allowed to view reversal here anymore. Don't do that. Oof. That's a recipe for disaster. Just block it out. I have so much HP to fuck with. Like, look at this. Even if I get hit here, he messed the dive kick up. Man, I've got the life lead. Like, I'm gonna try and get him to recall that orb. Yeah. Yeah, you see the remnants here, like... This is Menat's least favorite part, right here. Is... You don't want Juri to get V-skill, because it's so frustrating to deal with. Or Fireball. So you want to keep your orb there, in case she does anything, you can blow it up, because you can't go anywhere. But you don't have the life. You don't have the life. He's only got one orb, so his V-trick is useless. And he's got to wait the timer out, and there's absolutely no chance he's ever going to get it again. I'm like, well, just testing him. Let's run the fireball up. Even if he brings it back, by the way, if he brings it back right at the same time as I do the fireball charge, sometimes you can like immediately pop it. It's kind of cool. Generally going to get hit, but like you're not going to get comboed off it. Worst case, he's going to blow it up and get a little bit of Oki, but who's afraid of Menat Oki when she's got no V-trigger? Yeah, and then just walk forward, and like I know at this point, like he has to bring it back. He doesn't want to. Kinda gave up, I guess. Yeah. It's rough out here in these woods, but it shows that the fireball and the V-skill alone can really challenge this matchup. I mean, that's really got to use their thinking cap. You can't autopilot. Yeah, but hopefully that gives some insight into the Juri players. I hope you guys find that helpful. The old 1st to 2.